today we're talking about Blackbeard. So we got the anniversary coming up, and they dropped a major hint that the character used to celebrate the anniversary is going to be Blackbeard. Hold on one second. Let me check something. Yeah, okay. Almost forgot about that. Anyways, so we're going to talk about Blackbeard and the possibilities of Blackbeard. Okay, so first things first, we're going to talk about the easiest thing. Well, the easiest things. On them, work our way up to more complicated, the more complicated things to predict. So, excuse me, I just woke up. But without further ado, let's get into this. So, alright. First things first, what color and what class is he going to be? So, as you know, there's 3 choices for each, and personally, I think he's either going to be a red attacker or a red defender. That's what I think personally, so yeah. So that part, we're going to continue this based on that. And one of the reasons I think red defender or attacker is because most of our Luffys are red attackers. And then we got Blackbeard, who is a red defender, and yeah, I don't know, it just makes sense to me that he would be a red character, and either an attacker or defender. Being a runner would make sense too, but that would, for me, be like Blackbeard before time skip and all that stuff, because he's kind of cowardly. But we're going to go with based off attacker and defender, okay? So I spent quite a bit of while thinking about all this. And now we're going to talk about the skills, okay? The skills I think he's going to have, well, and I put a lot of thought into this. I did a lot of research into Blackbeard. A lot of refresher information. Like I read through his wiki on him, and read about his devil fruits and his abilities with them, and watched the anime over in specifically parts that highlight Blackbeard, and I've come to the conclusion that these 2 skills are most likely going to be the ones he uses. Alright, and we're going to talk about them, not in a specific order. It's not going to be like, this is skill 1, this is skill 2. This is just more like, this is the skill I think he's going to use, and this is another skill I think he's going to have. Okay? So, first one is going to be Black Hole Liberation. Black Hole Liberation. Now, that one is from the two of his attacks from the anime. Well, the first one, Black Hole. He puts his hand down on the ground and sends a black mist over the ground that absorbs everything into it that's around him, right? Then Liberation, it forms this big like tornado like the thing, and just shoots them out, all the items out that absorbed, people or items. So I would think they would add this as the same skill and just call it Black Hole Liberation. And just like what it would do would be like absorb the people around you in like in a specific area, right? Like I would say the range would be similar to Stampede Smoker's skill 2. Yeah. No, is it skill 2? It is skill 2. Yeah, it'd be like a mid-range area attack. Yeah, that's what I would think, and then it would like just suck people in and do a set amount of damage, like Crocodile's skill, the ground death. I think it would do that, like say do a set amount of HP damage and just spit them out, and maybe if the characters that got spit out got hit by it were to hit any nearby characters, it would do some damage to them. That's the first one I think, first skill I think we're going to get. One of the skills we're going to get for sure, has to be. And the next one is going to be Black Vortex. Now, I feel like having skills that focus on the Yummy Yummy no Mi is going to be what they're going to go for, because we've not get to see him use the Quake fruit yet. I called it Quake fruit instead of its Japanese name because I can't remember off the top of my head, sadly. So how I think the Black Vortex will work, it will be similar to Ace's Flame Mirror. It would be a counter. So like your opponent would come in and they would go to attack you. Well, then Blackbeard would pop that Black Vortex, and if he counters right, then he counters with a big punch right to their face, causing massive damage. So that's my ideas for his skills, and I think would actually work for the game and be kind of pretty balanced. Which is another thing that was taken into consideration for this character, and my ideas for how the character should be. So next, we're going to talk about traits. So, let's talk about the unique character traits first. Well, one thing is first the character trait that's for Logias. When receiving damage from an enemy, 15% chance to reduce damage received by 30%. Blackbeard would not have that because he is not like the other Logias. He cannot phase attacks through himself. So him getting that that trait would not be accurate to the character. However, I was wanting to think of a skill that's more to the point, like kind of how Perona's hollows act, like like a mix of the hollow and wrong one. Like take that hollow effect or the negative effect and mix it with like Nami's character's trait. Like when receiving damage from an enemy, 3% chance to inflict negative. How about that? I think it would be fair, because in order for Blackbeard to cancel out an opponent's Delve Fruit powers, he has to be able to have physical contact with them well, and that includes them touching him. So, has someone hitting you and then all of a sudden they get their effects negated, I think it's pretty fair. It's annoying, it's a pain in the ass, but I feel like it would be fair. Next. Oh, okay. So, another thing. I feel he should have this trait here that Jinbei has. When attacking power user enemies, increase damage dealt by 10%. I think he should have that whether he's an attacker or defender. Hands down is what he should have. So if he's an attacker though, he should also have the trait 1. When in the area around your enemy's treasure, increase damage dealt by 30%. Or, if he's a defender, he should have the opposite of it, where it reduces his damage received by 30% when in his own treasure area. So next, let's talk about the next traits. Let's see. Need examples. Obviously, we would want cooldown reduction traits. So like when example, when no, do we want that? Do we want that? I want to think we want something that really highlights how he is. When it receives a certain amount of damage, you'd want him to have defense boosts. Oh, yeah, where he is a character that really hangs on to life, no matter what happens to him. You really want something like that. So, And yeah, so this could be a good one right here. When your strength is more than 50%, 1 HP will be left, even if more damage is received. That would work if he is an attacker. So that way he's like, he gets beat up and then, bam, he still survives. You know, something like that. Other than that, it would be like, if his strength is above a certain threshold, and then his defenses, all damage received is reduced by a certain amount, or maybe, I'm trying to think of how it's worded. Like if a teammate is KO'd, he gets a so much, like a 10% defense boost or 30% defense boost. Now, what would really help him out? Ooh, yeah. Just thought of it. Like, okay, Blackbeard is always surrounded by his cronies, so it would make sense that. Oh, I just missed that. Oh man. Huh. Sorry, but it would make sense that if he had, was in an opponent's treasure area. Hold on, where is one like that? Yeah. I think it was right. Hold on. We got this. Oh. No, this don't have it. But anyways, it's kind of like trait 2, but the opposite. When allies are near the treasure area where you're at, increased damage dealt by 20%. I think it would be nice. Oh! I just remembered I'm getting all out of order. This character trait, if that would work for him as well. Nullify Tremor. Okay, so let's review real quick. On the traits. So, unique character traits. When receiving damage, 3% chance to inflict negative. Nullify Tremor. Boost, was that? Oh no, I gotta check again. Yeah, it's another character trait. When attacking power users, increased damage dealt by 10%. That'd be the character traits. Okay, then trait 1 would be when in your opponent's treasure area, increased damage dealt by 30%, or when in your own damage area, decrease damage received by 30%. Then, so cooldown's a trait. That's it. Okay, so the next one, trait 1, would be like something cooldown related, something that's going to reduce cooldown of a skill or his dodge. Then trait 2, it's gonna be like when in your when in the same treasure area as an ally, increase damage dealt by 20% or 30%, something like that. And then we want something that's going to, like, yeah, I'm still thinking the whole when at 50% strength and he's knocked down. Yeah, when your strength is 50% more, 1 HP be left even if more damage is received. I feel like those would be the best traits for him. So again, the character traits would be 10% more damage to power users, 30% chance to inflict negate for, well, not negate, wow, I keep saying it, 3% chance to inflict negative when receiving damage, nullify tremor. Trait 1 would be increased damage dealt by 30% when in enemy treasure area. Then when your strength is so much, reduce your cooldown of either your skills or the dodge. Then your trait 2 would be when in the treasure area with your allies, increase damage you deal by 20 or 30%. And when your strength is 50% or higher, and you'll survive a hit with 1 HP remaining, even if the damage is, even if the damage you receive exceeds that. So that's my ideas on Blackbeard and how his build could be. So yeah, hopefully I'm in the ballpark with this. I'm really hoping I am. Again, it's just some speculations and ideas. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up down below. And I'll see you all in the next video.